Hey, I want to tell you a story about some adventures with technology. I have a Hewlett Packard DeskJet 2700 series printer. Hewlett Packard has published software to use the printer that you're supposed to install if you use Windows. And the software is called HP Smart. And I can't actually scan or use the printer unless my PC is online and logged into my HP account. I can't use HP Smart software, and there's no built-in driver for the printer in Windows. So I have to have an HP account, I have to be online, and I have to be logged into my HP account. But that's not the worst part, okay? I just switched my home internet service. So I got a new modem, I set up my Wi-Fi network, and I went to configure the printer to connect to the wireless network. So I plug it in via USB into the PC, and I go into the configuration for the printer. I set it all up. The printer says, when I look, so the HP Smart app just basically opens the printer's web UI. And I put in the information and it connects and it says it's connected. So I go back into HP Smart to add the printer. You can't manage this printer through Windows, you have to do it through HP's software. So I go in and it can't find the printer. Once I unplug it from USB, I'm trying to access it over the network. It will not work. It gives me the option to enter the IP address of the printer. So I go in, I do an Nmap, I figure out the IP address of the printer and I put it in, and it still wouldn't find it at first. So I just did that a few times because I've had this thing long enough to know that it's cursed. And eventually it finds it. So, okay, now listen to this. I go to the Linux desktop in the living room, and I'm sitting there working on something else. I don't need to add the printer to this desktop, but I'm sitting there, and just boop, a notification pops up that says printer added, HP DeskJet, whatever it was. And I'm thinking to myself, every time any network change occurs, I have to plug this PC in to the printer to get it to work. And I have to remove the printer and add it again by USB. The HP Smart software that HP develops cannot auto-detect its own printer on the network using MDNS or whatever, it's called these days. Network Service Discovery. It cannot figure it out. And even then, it barely works. Like, I've had times where it's like it's added. Last time I used it, it worked fine. There have been no changes, and all I want to do is print one page, and it just won't work. And I have to remove the printer and go through this whole hokey pokey. That's why I like Linux. Is none of these problems exist. HP has been completely cut out of their hustle has been undermined by open source developers. And Linux, I'm using I think I'm using Linux Mint right now. It automatically discovered and added the printer. It scans, it prints. I didn't install anything. I didn't even ask it to do that. I'm kind of not even sure that I like that it automatically did that. I don't really mind because it is what I wanted. I mean, ultimately it is what I wanted. I would have wished they would have asked me first, I guess, but I don't really care. because this printer, I swear, is cursed. It just, like, the software that HP wrote for it, it just doesn't work. It's terrible. So this is, promotional content for Linux. And HP, we talked about this on social media. You guys have got some problems, They wrote about you in one of those Jim Collins books about how to run a business, It was either like Good to Great or Built to Last, one of those ones. What you've done with this HP Smart software is not in keeping with that great, grand philosophy, the HP way. You have major problems. I'm open to discussing this with you because the response that I got on social media was like pretty much denial. But yeah, good job, Linux Mint team, or whoever wrote those drivers. Thank you.